The Nintendo Switch pre-orders went live yesterday, technically. It was early in the morning this morning, whichever one it is. And it went swimmingly. It went very well. Nobody had any complaints. Everything was exactly how we expected. And I'm so happy. So happy that that happened. Not really. For some reason, I'm not sure why, but Nintendo has decided to tell, it was Japan where they announced that 2.2 million people did try to pre-order it through the Nintendo.com little thingy where you can click it and become an applicant to wait to see if then you can pre-order something that you'll get way later. Uh, Beautiful marketing strategy there. They decided 2 days before the American market opened that they were going to put out that, hey, maybe they didn't have enough. So either Nintendo is brilliant and made everybody panic buy, or Nintendo is absolutely just out of the loop and was like, nobody's going to buy this. I'm not sure which one it is. Who knows? Like it's either a brilliant marketing strategy or a terrible production. Like, what did you expect? This was going to be one of the biggest selling games or game consoles of all time because you just came off of one that was, or if Sony will stop finding random pockets of PS2s that have sold over the last 10 years, then it was the biggest selling game console. You just took that, you made it a little bigger. So how can it fail? That's what phones do. They sell every year like hotcakes. So the experience for me, I know a lot of people were complaining about it. Obviously, you had nothing to do with that because you're not American, right? Oh,
Happily so.
yeah. All right. That's okay. We're gonna glaze past that. Um. So so the pre-orders, everybody was complaining about them. Honestly, not me because I got one in 4 minutes. It took 4 minutes. Now I had three different things open, and I technically didn't get it. My wife did, but the websites that were having problems, mainly Best Buy. Best Buy, what are you doing? Why? Why even be a company? I sat in your line for an hour and a half. Never got the availability to try. First of all, it took 30 minutes before you even had the line. It was because for me it was 11 p.m. So I was at home, sat in front of the computer, had Walmart on one, had Best Buy on the other, had my phone open with Walmart on it as well, and my wife was sitting over there on her phone on Target. Like I said, within 4 minutes, she had purchased it. Me, on the other hand, I was waiting in a line at Walmart. That finally cleared up at around 11:30 ish. It finally let people add it to their cart and buy it. Now, Best Buy allowed you to get in the line around 11:30, and then it would kick you out of that line and maybe allow you back in the line. But what's the point here? It's tomorrow already, and still haven't got a console. It was a mess. Then the people that did get Target orders, not me, because vision of a hawk. People were getting messages from their bank saying that it was fraud detection and it would cancel their order. So, well, all I've got to say is, maybe you should check with your bank. That way, if you get a message, you actually receive that message, so you can approve it, and you could have got a pre-order. It's an issue, and we still haven't gotten a handle on how to do things, what that's about. But they did go through. They're all sold out. That was to be expected. Not sure how many they had to be sold out with. And then the GameStop experience, which is completely separate, by the way, because it would launch the following day, which was today. I don't know when you're watching this, but the 24th. So, what day are you watching? Put that in the comments. But it launched today. Whenever they opened, I will say the GameStop app and website crashed immediately. Upon the time of it turning 10 a.m. my time, which was 11 a.m. Eastern time, crashed immediately. I got a 502 error page. I thought 404 was what that was, but apparently there's a 502 one as well. I don't know how many numbers there are. What do y'all have? What do you have if there's an error? Is it 404?
Depends on the error. That's what error codes are for.
I thought if it didn't work, there was just one error code. It was just 404. You see 404 everywhere. Something happens. 404
means it can't find the page.
Okay, so what does 502 mean?
I would have to look it up. I don't know.
Oh,
a DNS issue, probably. I'm not a network engineer.
Anyways, yeah, that's what GameStop was telling me, was that it was having a 502 error, having an issue. Specifically, it just said host error. I don't know what that's about.
Yeah,
so the browser was
the
working.
DNS can't find the host.
Yeah, so that's GameStop. What are you doing? Come on, figure it out. That happened. Stores planned ahead. I will say GameStop handled it very well for their stores. They had a piece of paper on their front door that told you how many they had in stock for the regular Switch 2 and for the bundled Switch 2. The store I went to had 30 regular and 52 bundle because they know what's up. Nobody's buying the regular, really, unless it's just all you have left. I got there almost 2 hours before it opened. I was fifth in line. By the time the store doors finally opened, there was maybe 50 of us in the line. So everybody should have gotten one. I don't really see any reason why anybody in my area didn't get one if they knew it happened. Like, if you don't know that was going on, then that's kind of on you. I still, while being there, tried the GameStop app to see if I could get it to work, or the website. Never got it to work. Finally, 30, 40 minutes later, it worked, and it was immediately out of stock everywhere. So everywhere in America right now is out of stock with the Switch 2. We can hope that it is handled better than the PS5, and you're not paying $1,000 for the Switch 2 for the next 2 to 3 years. I feel like Nintendo will handle that better, but once again, it depends on if that 2.2 warning was legit, or if it was just a tactic. If it was a tactic, it worked, because we bought everything. Everything is gone. I do have some complaints. I was gonna get a Pro controller, because, like I said, I did order. So I got 2 consoles. Now I'm not being stingy and just, hey, I want 2 consoles. My wife is also a gamer, and she is gonna have one as well. So she has one, I have one. They're both pre-ordered. All that's taken care of. I did get the camera because I'm gonna do some wacky things with that, and I was gonna get the Pro controller. But then I sat there and thought about it. The Pro controller is $85, and there's nothing specifically good about it other than that one button that you have to pay for. If I want that button, I'm going to get the GameCube controller and then have that button. And then I'm going to wait until they come out with another edition of the Pro controller, because I don't want the plain one. Okay? The only Pro controller I have is the Tears of the Kingdom one, and I want to keep that trend going. Buy one, have it the entire life of its console, and never buy another one.
Well, the Switch 1 Pro controller works on the Switch 2, I believe.
Yes, that was another main reason why I didn't feel pressured to buy one.
So if you've got
it is
a normal one,
yeah, it is supposed to. So I'll just be using my. Well, where is it? I have it somewhere.
He will not be using the Pro controller.
It's over with the console. Okay, it's over with the console. Chill out. But I also took it as a way, because when I was like, do I get the Pro controller on launch? And I kind of talked myself out of it on another hand, because I was like, I need to try the Joy-Cons. If I buy a Pro controller day one, I'm never using the Joy-Cons. I'm going to be perfectly honest. They're not being used. So I decided to wait. I'll get one later. I'll get a themed one later. I have a problem with themes. I buy every theme there is. A PlayStation controller. Some of them I don't want to talk about, but I own them. So we're gonna keep that going. And there's a huge list. GameStop handed these out while we were in the line waiting, because the associate was a very, very good worker. she did an excellent job. She walked outside because they opened at 11. At 10 o'clock, she got there to open the store and everything, but not to allow anybody in. By 10, I want to say about 10:15, she came out with papers to hand everybody to, kind of let them know what there is, what the prices are specifically, and explained the pre-order business. If nobody understood, you had to put 50 down because it was a $500 console, yada yada. Then they had bundles and stuff. This is just purely going out to this one GameStop employee. They had bundles like the Essentials, Enhanced, and Everything bundle, and they had a price next to it telling you what it cost, but they had no details telling you what it was. So you're just guessing. You're just like, oh, Essentials, Enhanced, Everything. Let me get some of that everything. Maybe I need a bagel. But we had questions, and upon this question, she had no answer. She said she had no idea. She returned inside the building and then came out with another paper 5 minutes later for everybody. It's a total breakdown of what it is for each individual package. For all three of them, you get a game. And then you get a screen protector. You get a screen protector for free, which is a bargain because they're $15 for a screen protector, which is wild. That's more than the instructional game video thing. And we're complaining about that. Let's complain about the screen protector. Okay? What if Nintendo, here's an idea, I'm going to put a screen protector on it. What if you gave it to me when I bought your console? How about it? Or make a screen that doesn't need protecting. Why are you leaving that on me? My goodness. But now, this all comes for free, but you have to get a protection plan through GameStop, which credit to them, $55 for 1 year for protection, or $75 for 2 years. So, if you get a red Joy-Con of death, or I don't know what, if it blows up, maybe. Who knows? This could go one of two ways. It could go the console way or the mobile phone, because it's a mobile console. So it could blow up, or it could just stop working because it's overheating. But they did put that fan in the dock, so keep it docked, people. The fan will. Not really sure exactly how that's going to work though, with the ports on. They really haven't given us a breakdown on that. Like, is that fan just for the dock? Or does it cool the system too?
No, it'll cool the system because the system's in the dock.
But there would have to be a proper ventilation, like, to wherever the ventilation
From what
is.
I can tell, the fan is against the back of the Switch tablet, and it kicks out the back of the dock.
Okay. Well, we'll see. We'll let you know June 5th. Specifically, I'll let you know June 4th because GameStop opens for me at 11 p.m. and I can go pick it up then. So I will be laying it on the 4th, not the 5th. So yay me, yay time zones. I am.
If you get home in time.
Well, no, I'm gonna play it in the parking lot. I'm not leaving. I'm gonna load Mario World up right there in the parking lot on whatever Wi-Fi I can connect to. I do not care. I will go to a gas station if it has Wi-Fi. I'll go sit in a hotel parking lot. I'll find something. And McDonald's, they have Wi-Fi. I'll go get me a meal. I'll eat and I'll play some Mario Kart. If Nintendo's online system allows me to use their Wi-Fi to do that. I don't know.
Notoriously bad Wi-Fi, but
yeah,
Godspeed,
it is.
sir.
Yeah. Maybe they'll let me borrow an Ethernet cable. I don't know. Hey, you guys, while you're fixing those fries, you mind plugging this up for me? But I also noticed something with the release games. We have Brave. Oh my goodness, what is that? You know what it is, right?
Try that one again.
Bravivity.
What?
Brutality
looking at?
Default. It's the new game. Or it's the new remake game. Remastered? Bravely. Yeah, Bravely Default. Yeah. That's a
Did we talk
remaster.
about this?
Yeah, we talked about it once. At some point. But yeah, so these are the games. That mother. I don't know why I have trouble saying that, but you know what game I'm talking about. That game. Then we have Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild, and Mario Kart World. Street Fighter 6, and then Guardians of Azuma. Yeah, sure, that sounds right. Those are like the big games to order, at least from GameStop, the day of, and that just doesn't seem like much, if I'm being honest. Most of them you've already played, other than Mario Kart, which, if we're being real, you've already played. It's an open world game, and you can use the recall reverse button, whatever it is, if you mess up. So Forza's gonna have a field day with that one. Open world recall button. Come on, it's Forza. They've put Mario in Forza. That's what they've done. Are they gonna port Forza over to Nintendo? That's my next question. Because could you imagine driving a nice, well-defined car that's not well-defined in the Switch 2 graphics with one of those little wheels? Which, by the way, why? Why do people still buy those? What's wrong? Why? Why do you buy those? The only thing I can think that would be useful for is like if you have a desk or a chair that doesn't sit quite right, and that's just the exact shape that you need to hold it up. That's all I can think that to be useful for. Because let's be real, okay? If your immersion is fixed from a tiny little donut made of plastic, but it's broken from you holding a Joy-Con, what are you doing?
I used
And
to
why
have
are
a
you
really
doing it?
cool one for the Wii that was like, it had an orange grip on it and it didn't have the top, but it was awesome. The best.
Yeah.
There
Okay.
was a hole in the back so you could see the Bart Simpson battery cover that I had.
Okay, but I'll give you that because that was the Wii and that was new. Here we are 20 years later. It's not exactly 20 years, but it's close. It's been close to 20 years.
Nearly.
We're still using this little
How
wheel.
long ago did my parents get divorced? It was around then.
That's how we're tracking time. Well,
that's when everyone else got a Wii.
Why don't you just look up when the Wii?
2006, close enough.
Yeah, it's almost 20 years. Sure. Oh my goodness. That's all right. That's great. But another issue I have here is that the Mario Party Jamboree game, the game that highlights that you're going to need the camera, which, by the way, was low in stock. Like I said, our Best Buy had a total of 82 Switch 2s, whether it was the bundle or not. 4 cameras. Don't know what that was about. Maybe it's because the Mario Party Jamboree game that like requires the camera in order for you to get a new experience comes out a month and a half later, so they'll figure. Plus, they probably think everybody's just going to get the hoary Piranha Plant one, which I thought about, but it's not as funny. It is funny looking, but it's not as funny as having a Nintendo branded webcam. I'm sorry.
No, it's objectively more funny because it's only 480p.
Yes, but if I crap on it, everybody expects it. Whereas I want this Nintendo hardware, and I want to do things with it. Okay,
Fair enough.
I'm gonna have a podcast day where I have a Nintendo webcam looking at me. We're gonna do that at some point. I'm gonna make so much Nintendo Switch out there. I'm not gonna say all the ideas because I don't want them stolen, but I have so many things planned for what I'm gonna use that camera for, and number 6 will shock you. But that's my main gripe is just the games that we have coming out. It doesn't seem like there's enough to get people to buy it, and that's why they did the strategy of saying 2.2 million. We weren't ready for this. And then everybody was like, well, we have to buy one or it'll be a PS5. I think comfortably they have 30 million of them ready to go. They're just acting like they don't, so we'll buy them all.
I want to be clear, I do not subscribe to Stan's tinfoil hat nonsense. I
Why
just
is
think
that?
it was poor business planning, like it always is.
Oh, so you think Nintendo messed up? Nintendo hater. That's what you are. Okay. All right. Glad to see what side of the fence you stand on, sir. My Nintendo would never. That's why, they raised their prices. Anyways, that's I think that's it for the my Nintendo Switch complaints.
Oh, I have plenty more.
Oh, please do go on. Oh, wait. No, I have one more. I'm sorry.
Go for it.
When I was just bragging about you, Nintendo, what the flip, man? $85 for a case? For a case to carry my stuff. It doesn't come with anything. It's just a case. $85. Why? I'll just put it back in the box. What's wrong with you? Okay, you can go on.
Yeah, just buy a third-party case. Okay, we have some more Nintendo fine print shenanigans that I have been shown across my various social media feeds. Certain games with no discernible consistency. There's no method to the madness, from what I can tell. There's just some of the games won't be included in the cloud save feature on NSO for the Switch 2, which is weird because as I said, there's no good reason as to why these games can't. There's no link between these games. It's just they seem to have picked some random games that won't. One of them being the new Donkey Kong, which is strange. And B, that's part of NSO. That's part of a thing you are paying for, and they're now just it's okay to release games that don't. What's that about?
I can't wait till they raise the price of NSO.
Oh boy,
that'll be interesting.
Do you reckon they'll do that before or after the free camera period?
So this is what they did. This is another marketing strategy on their part. They're gonna give it away for free, and then when it goes to being not free, they'll raise the price, and everybody's so used to having it that they'll be like, "Well, I got to pay it."
Or at the same time?
Yeah,
I think they'll do it like a month or two before and hope no one notices.
They might. I will say, whenever I do NSO, I do for the year. It's just easier that way. It's like $80, and boom, you've got the family and the expansion, yada yada. Now that my family plan only has 4 people on it, so I have a couple of slots open. Hit me up. I'm paying for it. I got to get it used. You know what I'm saying?
I might have to become part of the family.
I mean, technically, we share a Google account, so
that's true.
That's family, isn't it?
We're basically brothers.
Yeah, might as well be.
Also, oh, sorry, go on.
No. Please. I was going to say nonsense.
Just have more complaints.
Well, I can do that.
Nintendo has also dropped all mention of variable refresh rate support from the website, which means the Switch 2 probably won't have it. For anyone who doesn't know, VRR is basically when an external device can tell a monitor it's plugged into what refresh rate to use. Particularly for game consoles, this is used if a game has not a steady refresh rate to change the refresh rate of the monitor that you're using.
So usually when you have it to a TV, it'll be like I've put your TV in game mode.
Yeah, so it would make the TV run at 60 hertz or whatever it's playing at, because then you're not wasting frames for a start, and you're not desyncing with the game. But the Switch 2 doesn't do that, which is strange, because why not? There's no reason that they can't do that. They just don't.
Maybe they didn't charge for it. Maybe, you have to buy a dock
True, it'll
that
be in the
allows it.
NSO expansion that will allow variable refresh rate.
It'll be the VRR button located on the back of your controller that you can only press if you pay for NSO.
My God, you're a genius.
I mean, hey, Nintendo, hit me up. I've got some ideas. Let's make some money together.
To stop complaining about Nintendo for a second, though, this is pretty cool. They have announced some of the file sizes for the games coming out, and as
Yeah.
usual, Nintendo are absolute wizards at compression. They are very much industry leaders when it comes to this. I don't see a single game here over 25 gigs.
Yeah, and that's I mean, that's just one of them is an outlier because all the rest of them are less than 10.
Yeah.
Mario Kart World is the largest at 23.4. Now, of course, that's the game, but it's going to have its updates and stuff like that. So it's going to be bloated to probably 50 gigs by the time it's done, especially when they put some expansion. Well, I don't even know how they would, like, you can't put, well, I guess they could put new tracks if there's parts of the open world that's just barren.
They're going to make islands.
They
They're gonna make
could.
space stations with
Well, you got
all rainbow roads.
you got to get to Rainbow Road somehow. So maybe they'll have a way to they'll Fast and Furious it, man, and you fly up there or something. I don't know. It'd be interesting to see. But yeah, the lower sizes. I mean, it makes sense. Have you seen their hardware? Like they're only this big. A disc is like this. That's why that's where you're getting the value at. They know they have to fit it all in such a small product, and that's why they're doing it. It has to. You can't put a 130 gig game on that little bitty cart. Come on, little cart,
We're
little
not.
gigs.
You're a moron.
I didn't even touch on the express micro cards that are way more than they should be, but whatever. That's
Yeah.
also Nintendo. Now, just a real quick gripe because I wanted to trade in a console to get the new Switch. Why? Why? And please, I hope the Switch 2 isn't like this. Why did you lock my SD card to one console? Why is that a thing? In what form? Yes, if you have an SD card, it locks it to your serial number of your Switch. So if you take it out and try to put it in another one, it tells you that you now have to format that one to this new Switch. You can't take any of the data off. You have to get another SD card, format it to the Switch, take it off of the old SD card, put it on the new one, and then put that in there so you don't lose any of your stuff. Now, this is just game stuff, not like your save data or anything like that. That's transferable. But if you don't want to have to re-download every single game that you own, like I don't want to, you have to play this runaround game to move them from one console to another. I think
really
that's
annoying.
ridiculous. And I hope that they don't have the Switch 2 set up like that as well. There, I think I'm done complaining about Nintendo. You own my bank account, so what else can I say?
All right, where are we going next, Chief?
Well, let's see. We've got all of that. I mean, the split fiction, we could bundle that in with Nintendo because that's actually a good. This is a positive for Nintendo. It's probably mainly because of split fiction themselves because they're
I would say more a positive for the split fiction devs, but
yeah, which they're amazing. So yeah, you go ahead.
So the game share feature that I hesitate to say new because it is just the DS download play, but the Switch, will work with split fiction, and it will also work with connecting the Switch 1. So if you own the game on Switch 2, because it isn't releasing on Switch 1, the game isn't coming out on Switch 1. If you own the game on Switch 2, you can play it with people on Switch 1, or with a person on Switch 1, I suppose. It's 2-player. just through this download play, and that's pretty cool because they're jumping it down to a lower powered hardware just from GameShare DS download play, which is pretty impressive, and it shows that they're clearly trying to make it as accessible as possible, which is really nice.
My question here is it going to run?
We'll see, but
Because another immediately when you said the Switch 1, does that include the Lite? Like, am I going to be able to play Split Fiction on the Lite?
I don't know. I would imagine the downloaded version, if you're doing it on Switch 1,
Yeah.
is... Well, okay, so to make this make sense, download play or game share is not actually downloading the game to your console. You could have probably guessed this from the fact that it doesn't take 3 hours. What it's doing is it's essentially routing your controller into the Switch 2, into the host, and using it as a second input, and then casting the screen or your version of the screen back to you. So it is being run on the Switch 2, and this is why it requires an internet connection.
Right.
I would imagine when it's casting back to you, it's probably doing it at a lower resolution. But so it doesn't actually make any difference that the Switch 1 is less powerful. It's just there's less compatibility going on there.
But the positive, though, if it does run on the Switch Lite, maybe not this specific game, but having a D-pad is a lovely thing. So if there's other games where perhaps having an actual D-pad
on the normal Switch.
Yeah, I don't know why out of all the things you changed, especially with your whole we built the new Joy-Cons from the ground up, the Joy-Con 2s, from the Joy-Cons 2, whatever, from the ground up. We built it from the ground up. Why didn't you put a D-pad? You're telling me nowhere between the ground and that there's no D-pad there? For years, Nintendo, you gave the D-pad. Why did you take it away? Why won't you give it back? You still put it on your Pro controllers. Do you not consider your console worthy? Do you not consider the Joy-Cons worthy of having a D-pad on there? Because we can do it ourselves, or we could pay for somebody else's product that does it. Why can't you do it? Everybody has their complaints about the Hall effect sticks and this and stick drift. I've never had stick drift. Never. But, like I said, I use the controller all the time. Well, I tell you one of the main reasons why I do use the controller, it has a D-pad on it. Okay? So if you put a D-pad on the Joy-Con, maybe that's just their way of getting you to not play with it so the sticks don't drift. I don't know. But Nintendo, do better. Gosh.
It would have been
It's gonna be my catchphrase. Nintendo, do better. Guess that's it for that. That's I got nothing else for it. I'm gonna stop complaining about it. Maybe.
For now, for this week, maybe.
For this next segment, maybe. Okay. So since we're on the talk of handhelds and their compatibility and everything else, PS6 is having some leaks, showing a PS6 handheld to accompany the main console, which is big in a way, kind of. Like I do prefer the ability. Like Switch did market something that is amazing, and they made a home console be able to travel. That's awesome. But at the same time, that means your home console can only be as powerful as your on-the-go console, which is not great. For Nintendo, that works because their games have looked the same since 1997. For PlayStation, it's a different deal. And when you look at like some of their older things, like the PS3 versus the PSP, there was a graphical change between them, but usually the games were quite a bit different too. So it didn't matter that much. It still looked great. If you go back and play a PSP versus a Switch now, I'm going to be honest with you, PSP looks sharper. It's just the facts of the matter. Sony built it. I trust Sony with all of my money. God, I spend too much money on things.
Okay, so the PS6 handheld isn't going to be as powerful as the main PS6.
Right. I expect that because the home console should be more powerful. That's where Nintendo.
It will be.
Yeah, I'm aware of this. What I'm saying
It
is,
sounded like you were complaining that it wasn't going to be.
No. The complaint is that the complaint's based towards Nintendo, which I said I wasn't going to do anymore. But the complaint's towards Nintendo for giving us a not very powerful home console. But when have they ever? So, I can't wait to see what PlayStation is going to do with this because I would love to have a PlayStation handheld that's able to give me a game that looks good because it's going to be better than the Switch. It's not going to be on the PS6 level. I don't know that I could say it'll be on the PS5 level, but it's going to look really good. I'm curious to see what they're going to do about their games. Is it going to be all digital? Because I don't like that, but I also,
Probably.
I also don't necessarily need little PSP games either. So I don't know. It's a hit and a miss for me, if I'm being honest.
If these leaks are true, and that is a humongous if.
That's what she
They
said.
are not verified in any. They are not verified in any way. This is just some guy on a forum who seems to kind of know what he's talking about.
And now two guys on a podcast.
There are two main things in these leaks that are very exciting. Allow me to explain them to you, and allow me to show you all why I'm single. First of all, it is said that it will be slightly more powerful than the PlayStation 5, which means it will be able to run PlayStation 5, base PlayStation 5, and I'm assuming in performance mode. I imagine it will be locked to that. The second thing, which is way nerdier, is it will have full binary shader compatibility. Now, let me explain what that means, because I'm assuming, based on the look on Stan's face, no one knows what I'm talking about. A shader...
The shadows are compatible, man, obviously. Like,
a shader
the sun will come out tomorrow, that's what...
Exactly, the handheld will make the sun come out.
Yes.
A shader is an algorithm or a series of instructions that each pixel on a screen is passed through before it's displayed. Shaders, most games will have several shaders based on the material it's trying to display. You will have what's called a material buffer, which is where you can pick which shader, what sort of 3D model or what item will be passed through. A binary shader is an uncompiled shader, which means it hasn't been processed, it hasn't been put together and packaged. It is just the shader. He's writing it. It is just the shader. If this handheld does have full binary shader compatibility, which it says it does, that means none of the shaders have to be recompiled for it, which means the devs of each PlayStation 5 game don't need to do anything to the game for it to run on this handheld. It will just run. It won't need to be re-released. It won't need to be changed in any way. It will just run PS5 games, which is...
Well, don't let Xbox get news of this or they'll start firing people.
Which is very cool. If that's true, very cool, because obviously the PSP and the Vita didn't do that. They had their own games, and the versions of games that were on both, you had to get a specific version for it to run. This will mean that the devs won't have to do anything for it, and every game that is available on the PlayStation 5 will just be available on this thing as long as it can run it. There'll be no waiting for the devs to do it, no waiting for it to be put on there. If it can run it with how powerful it is, it just will.
That would honestly be amazing.
Would be pretty sick. So, if that's true, Very cool.
The not physical part, though, I'm not on that. Like,
I imagine it would be all digital. Yeah.
yeah, I don't care for that. I'm just being honest here. I don't care for that.
I don't know how they would go about making it so that you could play games that you already own physically.
Yeah, that's another thing. Like, if this runs a certain version of the game, we're completely hypothetical here. Like, no idea. But say the game comes out on the PS6, but you want to play it on your handheld. Do you then have to buy another version of that same game you have, or because it's connected to your account, can you play that game on your handheld? Now we know
digital games will be fine.
Yes, I was going to say, we know with digital, you should be able to play it across wherever your account is. But will there be two different versions of one game, or will they be the exact same game? And if so, does that limit what they can do with the main game for the home console? Like how all games are kind of screwed because they made the Xbox Series S, Microsoft.
I wouldn't imagine so.
Yeah. This could if this happens, it could be either really good or really bad.
Yeah, that's true. It remains to be seen. Obviously, none of this is confirmed or announced in any way.
None of it.
None of it.
See you. I know what you're thinking. You're like, these guys are talking about, hey, we didn't say it was true.
My issue is if you already own a game physically, how do you link that to your account to play it on this? If it's not going to accept discs, which I imagine it probably won't.
Well, they're saying the PS6 will probably be discless as well. So that would do away with that problem, unfortunately.
I guess
that would do away with that problem.
But what if it's not just for playing PS6 games, it's for playing PS5 games?
Okay, maybe you have to buy the PS6 version of the game because there's no guarantee that, like how we have some games that are PS4 upgradable to PS5, there's no guarantee that the PS6 is going to have that same capability, even though it would be so easy because it would be mainly just digital stuff. But if you're looking at that aspect, I mean, if you have a physical PS5 game and you're trying to play it on your PS6, you're not going to be able to do it. That's just how it's going to be. You're going to have to own it digitally. So if you do own it digitally for the PS5, and let's be real here, Sony, for the PS4, if you own it digitally for any of those consoles, it should play on the PS6. And then retroactively, it should play on the handheld as well. But we'll see. If it ever happens.
A lot of questions, not many answers, because
so many questions.
Obviously it's not announced yet.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Maybe they should talk to Nintendo. They'll fuck it up. I'll be like, PS6? We didn't know there were this many PSs. So. Oh, so great. It's so great. This is a fine time we're living in. But we were mentioning Xbox. We mentioned them a couple of times. So let's talk about how they might have screwed over a brand new game. Okay? By giving us a not so brand new game. Claire Obscure, Expedition 33. All right? Follow me on this. I have no idea what it is. Not going to play it. Haven't played it. But could be good. Could be good. You know what I'm saying? It's a new game. New games are good sometimes. New game, big deal. Everybody was excited for it, sort of. Xbox then turned around and dropped the Oblivion remaster. If you don't know what game I'm talking about by just saying Oblivion remaster, then this doesn't pertain to you anyways. So they dropped it 2 days prior, shadow drop. Like there was nothing, just boom, here's a game, have it. Apparently, you don't do that. Why would you do that? That would be like the 2 days before Bonanza releases, we get Mario Odyssey 2. That's how that would go. Why would any company do this? Now, spoiler alert, in case you didn't know, they're both available on Game Pass. So Xbox doesn't care about the companies making money off of the products that they've made. They just care about, are people going to get the subscription for us? And that's pretty much all Xbox is now, is a subscription. It's like Netflix. And you can put it on your TV. I don't know that it'll run on your TV, but you can put it on your TV. That's I don't know how to feel about that, honestly. Other than, well, like I said, I'm not going to play either of the games. So personally, I don't care. But someone does, and for you, I'm sorry that Microsoft sucks. See, we can talk bad about all the companies. We can talk bad about all of them.
I'm seeing a lot of people still playing it, so I'm hoping it's fine. But it is,
Yeah.
it is a rather silly move from Xbox.
It is, and we've jumped around quite a bit. There are several things, guys. This just in. We're not professionals. There were several things we could have bundled here and there, and we didn't. So we're gonna have to jump around a couple of places here and there, back and forth between Sony and Xbox because
Yeah, I was gonna, before you
we
went to
didn't package
Xbox,
them
I was gonna jump into the fact that Sony has stopped shipping new PS4s in Japan. I didn't know they still did that, but apparently they don't anymore.
I didn't either. I thought that was something that was done away with before the COVID times, but I guess not. I guess if if you survived those dark days, you could still get a brand new PS4 in Japan. Apparently, is there any news on any other countries, or is just specifically Japan?
From what I read, it was specifically Japan.
Oh, so I can still get a new one here. Interesting.
I think, unless they've already stopped it there. I don't know.
Oh,
It might
well,
have
if
been
they
that
haven't,
Japan was the last to stop. I didn't.
no, if they haven't
check.
stopped it, come with me on my adventure to find a brand new PS4 in the year of 2025. I'm kidding.
And
I
on
don't
that
have any-
PS4, you can now, well, you could anyway, but we as in Europeans, can now play Kingdom Hearts all in one package, but finally gets a European release date because this game, that I must preface, came out 5 years ago, didn't have a physical in Europe. But it will do on June 12th, which is nice. Still only for the PS4. This game came out so long ago that we've moved consoles, and we're just now getting the physical for it, and it's not upgraded to the new console. So this is why I have the old one. I have the Kingdom Hearts Story So Far edition, not the all-in-one edition. So I don't even have Kingdom Hearts 3 because it's a different thing. I'm getting angry. I'm getting upset. Why is it not? Why is it not here yet? But it will be soon.
I will say I did see this today. Okay, so let's get you calmed down a little bit. I did see this today. Okay, because I said it before. I saw this new in store for the first time in my life like 2 weeks ago, and I saw it today in store used. And I asked the guy, I was like, "Hey, do you mind if I look at that?" And he was like, "Sure, yeah, whatever." And I looked at it. So I have 1.5, 2.5, and 3. Now, what's in those? I have no idea, but there's something. And if you read the back of this story so far, or no, wait, all in one, if you read the all in one, it gives you a whole list of things. None of them say 1.5, 2.5. You get none of that. You just get a bunch of random names talking about what's going on,
No, right,
what day of the
because
week it is.
It includes the same things that the 1.5 and 2.5 includes.
Exactly, but it doesn't tell me that in plain English, and I am a simple man.
Fair. I have a list here from our good friend Jacob. Hi, Jacob. I know you're probably watching.
If you are, leave us a comment.
That you are missing 2.8, a fragmentary passage, which contains Birth by Sleep 0.8 Final Chapter Prologue and Kingdom Hearts 3D. Also a rhythm game made after 3 that had a tiny amount of lore in it, but doesn't really matter. So
Okay.
we're fine because we have a cool friend who knows all this.
Yes. I will say when I asked to look at the game and I was looking at the back of it, I then, curious me, decided to take because there's two games with one sleeve on top of the two games. So I pulled them both out because I wanted to see what they said because the back of the box did give me enough information. And it was two games. You have the story so far and three. That's it. That's all it is. It's just a combo pack of the story so far and three. So
Okay, so that is all in one. That is
yeah.
so the story so far is what I have, which is
Uh-huh.
everything except 3. So
Yes.
if you also have 3, then that's the all in. Well, that's everything, I believe.
Yeah.
I think.
So all you need is three, and all I need is the story so far. I'll trade you, man. I'll play mine all the way. I'll let you play yours all the way. We can switch them, and then we can say we played the whole thing.
We'll get there one day.
That's such. Anyways, yeah. So just don't buy the package, man. Save your money and just buy 3. You should. Cheaper.
I mean, I will, yeah, because I already have the story so far. But
Yeah, it's cheaper for you.
it's cool.
I don't care.
It's nice that we finally have it. Okay.
The only Kingdom Hearts I want to buy is 4. Let me know something. Like, can we get
Where
some
is
news
it?
about that? Where is it?
Do you want to talk about the Star Wars event? Or do you want to do the accessories?
The accessories.
The Doom stuff.
There's crimes? Oh, the accessories. Oh, okay. Never mind. You're talking about the controllers and the skin. Yeah, okay. Yeah. So, Doom the Dark Ages. That game. You get a Xbox Series X wrap, a wireless controller, and a wireless controller Series 2. Now, the Series 2 is sold out, so we're not going to talk about it because who cares? You can't get it unless you pay more than the 180. What are these?
Pounds, sorry. I didn't
Pounds.
change my browser to be in dollars before I took the screenshot.
If you pay the adult male average weight, then you could get that. You get that
about
controller.
$200. It's about $200.
Okay, so about $200 for this Series 2 controller, which I'm assuming is the natural price for the Series 2 controller, maybe? I don't know. I don't buy Xbox stuff anymore. But the DualSense is better. Just get over it. That one's sold out. It does look interesting. The wrap is not sold out. You can still buy it. It's £50, which is something in American.
About $65-ish.
Okay, that sounds about right. It looks nice, but it's a wrap. Sorry, I buy
It's a wrap.
editions
Get
of
out.
things. Oh, it's a oh. The regular controller, which this we did throw this together a couple of days ago, so it's possible that these are sold out now. We could just be telling you things that you could look up.
Maybe.
The regular controller does look pretty nice. They've got good things. The themes, they look really good. I'll say that. Still, I don't know. That's it. They look nice. Buy them if they look nice to you. I don't know. What do you want from me? All right.
Regular controller's £75, which is about $100.
Yeah, that. Oh, also, it does the regular controller in the bottom, and fine print there, parentheses. Game sold separately. So, just in case you thought that for some reason this controller came with the game, no, it doesn't. Game sold separately.
I like how the other ones don't say that.
The other ones don't say that, so you could buy one of the other ones potentially and complain that you didn't get the game because it doesn't say it doesn't come with it. Such an interesting marketing strategy there, Xbox. Loving it.
Okay. What else we got? Star Wars. Outlaws gets new story DLC. Comes May 15th.
Yay! You know that game nobody bought? You get more of it. So
It's also coming to the Switch 2 September 4th.
you know that game nobody bought? You can buy it somewhere else or not. Probably not. It's gonna look worse. Why would you?
The games for the people. We're also getting a Star Wars collab in Fortnite and Monopoly Go. I know we were all waiting for it. We were itching for the Fortnite collab in Monopoly Go, but it's finally here, people.
The first one, people play Fortnite. Okay, so hey, Fortnite is on the Switch too as well, and that's supposed to be from launch. So if you want to play the Star Wars collab in Fortnite, because I think the season will still be up, right? Yeah, the season will still be there. It won't be the end of the season yet. Yeah,
it's a half season.
New season. Oh,
it's a mini one.
So you're going to take one of the biggest franchises that exist and make a mini season. Now I'm complaining about Fortnite. No one is safe here.
They do it every year. It's for May the 4th.
You're right. You are. It's still stupid.
You remember we were playing last year? We had the Chewbacca on the dirt bike.
We were. I played the first game I played. I went and killed Darth Vader and then killed the entire lobby with his lightsaber.
It's just that for this year.
Okay. Okay. Fortnite. One thing. Can I have a lightsaber as a pickaxe? Can I have that?
People are saying apparently it might be. I don't believe them.
Why
would they not have done that yet?
Yeah. It's infuriating. Come on now. I just want to be running around going boom, 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 boom.
Everyone says it's because there's lightsaber weapons occasionally. No, it's not. We had the Captain America shield and a baseball bat, both of which are also pickaxes.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. So whoever said that, no. Stop it.
Stupid.
Don't try to defend them.
I'm starting a fight with r/Fortnite BR.
The Monopoly Go one.
That'll be sick for the streamers that took the sponsorship for that. I didn't because bit weird, isn't it?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I try to say that I'm a Monopoly onomatopoeia. I'm a Monopoly player. Okay, through and through. I love Monopoly to its core because it's what teaches you American values. That's what Monopoly does. You steal from everyone else, including family members. You make yourself profitable. You overcharge for things, and that's how you win the game. It's American 101.
Strats with Stan.
That is the game of baseball is America's pastime? No, Monopoly is. And this one you can play on your phone. So, it's even better. Although I've not played Monopoly in years, so I'm defending it, but at the same time, who has the time? I'm doing it in real life. I'm trying to make money. Why do I have time to play with you? Your fake money. My goodness.
Also, Zero Company got a trailer that we were talking about last week. Looks pretty. Yeah. Looks alright.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not coming out until next year, though.
Yeah. Yeah. Fucking. I mean, just why? Why Star Wars? Why do games have to? I'm so sick of this game. Hey, you want to play this? Cool. Play it next year. Like, no, I want to play it now. I saw it now. It interests me now. I want to play it now. You keep on, you're going to be a Marvel Rivals. I'll play you when you're somewhat available. You'll take it away, and then when you make it available to me again, I'll say, nah. So, try me, Star Wars. Try me. I'm a much bigger Marvel fan.
next year as well. So depending on when next year, it might also be at next year's Star Wars event.
Oh man. It's gonna be winter of 2026, which means we have a
Maybe.
year and a half, which is I don't even want to think about it anymore. I hate the fact that I got excited for this game just to be let down. Looks good though. I don't know. In a year you'll be able to pre-order it. Maybe it'll be on the Switch too. It won't.
Yeah, they haven't said it's coming to the Switch 2. They've said it's coming to everything except the Switch. I think we spoke about this last week as well. I don't know if that's because they just haven't said it yet. Because Nintendo likes to say things first, so if they didn't, maybe they're not allowed. But maybe it's just not coming to the Switch 2, which is weird because it's a strategy game. Kind of lends itself to handheld consoles.
I was going to say maybe they're marketing to people that have D-pads, but PlayStation doesn't have a D-pad either. So, I don't.
Well, it's kind of a D-pad. It's more so a D-pad than the Nintendo one.
Yeah, it's more than the Switch. I will give it that. It's more than the Switch, but it's not quite Xbox. Which
yeah, it's not quite actually. Do I
Xbox also, depending on which one you have, they're not D-pads either. They're circles with the D-pad cutout. It's just another analog stick without an extension.
Where did the D-pad go, man?
Yeah.
What happened to the D-pad?
What happened to the D-pad? Why did they take the D-pad away from us? Why? Video gamers unite and get that D-pad back. Okay, are you ready for your weekly announcement?
Oh, Stan, am I ready? Everybody, please listen in for my another wind-up intro that is longer than the actual news, because my friends, this week, the Silksong trailer disappeared from Steam. There was much debate as to why. Was there a new trailer coming? Was there a bug? Pun intended. What was going on with the Silksong trailer? Let me tell you, my friends, it came back 3 days later, unchanged. Nothing happened. Thank you for listening to this week's Silksong news. I love these clips. These are my favorite ones.
I bet they are. They just, really, really capture what Silksong has done to you. And they're wrong for it, okay? Honestly.
It was an intro because it was over like Easter weekend. So I'm assuming there was just nobody in the office, and that's why. I imagine it was just accidentally taken down, or it just wasn't there for any. Yeah. And then, no one was in the office for 3 days to put it back.
They probably got a tweet. It was like, hey, where'd the Silksong trailer go? And they were like,
I'm busy, bro.
Guys, should we fix this? I was like, nah, we don't go back to the office until
Tuesday.
It's until Tuesday. So, and he was like, yeah, but should we worry about it? And they were like, nah, man, marketing. Look at this marketing we're getting. They're still talking about it.
To be fair, it worked.
See? Now who's wearing a tinfoil hat? Huh?
I'm not saying they took it down on purpose.
How do you accidentally take a listing off of Steam?
It wasn't a listing. It was just the trailer disappeared from the listing.
But the trailer is a listing.
Just one of the videos from the Steam page wasn't there for 3 days.
Okay, so how do you just accidentally get rid of one of the videos? I could see if the whole thing was gone. My goodness, man.
It happens.
Other things that happen are spin-offs of Sonic movies, okay? Paramount Plus has announced, apparently, reportedly, something, so they're going to work on some more spin-offs of Sonic. If you watch that other show, I can't remember the name of it, because...
This is a bit...
What was the name of it? No, they were supposed to do a Knuckles one.
Oh, okay.
But then
it is a bit.
they didn't do it because he wasn't in it really. This guy right here, yeah. The whole show, his name. Where was he? Who knows? The show, why's he got to be in it, right? Why would you put him in the show if it's his name? So the spinoff shows, if they give us a Tails show, naturally Shadow will be in it. If they give us a Shadow spinoff, then Lawrence Fishburne will be in it. That's probably how that's gonna work. If they give us an Amy one, perhaps Black Widow will be brought back with a snap of a finger. There's gonna be something wild. It's gonna be built up that it's gonna be good. Like this. It's gonna be built up. Hey, watch me. It's gonna be great. And then these random people who you don't know are just gonna be front and center. And I'm not gonna care. So I've lost excitement. I've lost joy in life. Thank you, Paramount.
If we're just talking about what might happen and the exciting possibilities, the post credits. Sorry, the mid credits. What do you call them? the mid credits scene from Sonic 3.
The previews at the end of the movie.
those things. So I guess spoilers for this 6-month-old film now.
If you haven't seen Sonic 3, cover your delicate little ears and then go watch Sonic 3 and come back. We're at whatever you see at the bottom, whatever that number is, pause it here. Remember that number. Go watch the movie. Come back. That's your number. Take a ticket. Get in line.
Don't even close the tab. Just go watch Sonic 3 and then come back. Just stay.
Put us on loop. Maybe you can catch it right when we come back.
Maybe.
Let's see who gets back first. Huh? I'll race you.
Based on the mid-credits scene, we saw Metal Sonic, which means they might be leaning into more of a Sonic CD direction in terms of inspiration, which leaves the question as to what they're doing with Shadow. Shadow the Hedgehog was a multi-ending game. Maybe lends itself slightly more to a TV show than it does a movie. I'm just saying, it could happen. It's not going to happen. In no world is it going to happen, but it could. They could.
I'm ready for the Sonic Cinematic Universe, okay?
There's already a Sonic Cinematic. We're 3 movies and a TV show. This is very much already a cinematic universe.
Oh, no, because technically they've all been Sonic movies, and we are not going to call that a Knuckles show. We are not going to call that. It's not separate. It was just some guy who was in the universe. Damn it, that does count.
To this point, though, they never said that it was a TV show spin-off. We might just be getting another
Spin-off
Sonic movie that's not a mainline movie. We might be getting a movie about someone else in the Sonic universe.
Okay, so
when is my
problem.
Big the Cat movie, Paramount? Where is it?
This is my problem. You can't see they've made a mistake. They didn't follow the correct format because they made a Sonic movie and we've had all these characters, right? In Sonic, you get Tails at the very end, not in the movie, of course. And then in the second one, you get Tails and Knuckles now. And then in the third one, you get Tails, Knuckles, and Shadow, which is all still named just Sonic. So you can't have like the Avengers type scenario where you have a Sonic movie and then this movie breaking off of that or yada yada. You can't have that because you've basically built them into a family. If one's there, they're all there. So you can't have standalone.
We just call
films,
the next
really.
movie Sonic Heroes and we make it about all of them. And then we can have a Team Shadow, a Team Dark movie, a Team Sonic movie, is it Team Rose? Or is it Team Amy? It's not Team Amy, is it? Team Rose?
I don't know.
That one. And then Team Chaotic.
Well,
I don't know. I played Team Dark, alright? I was an edgy
Sonic
6-year-old
Heroes.
when I played that game.
Sonic Hero. If you release a movie called Sonic Hero, I'm going. I don't even care if it has nothing to do with Sonic. If it's called
just for the theme tune, if it has that in it, I'm just playing.
If it's called Sonic Heroes and it's just we have a restaurant chain called Sonic, and it just turns out to be sandwiches. Like if it's a movie about sandwiches made by them, I'll go watch it if it's called Sonic Heroes. I'm easy to please, so.
So I've heard, but that's a different story. Speaking of different stories, if you did want to play Sonic on the PS3, we now have RPCSX UI Android. Which you're laughing at my segues again. I'm not making another clip out of it.
Okay, yeah. That was
okay. That one was a bit of a reach, but anyway. So before we start just talking about Sonic, because I could do that all day. There is a PlayStation 3 emulator that has been on PC for a little while. They did an Android SKU, which wasn't very good a couple months ago, and they have now done RPCSX UI Android, which is a new version, rolls right off the tongue. That is a PS3 emulator for Android. I tried to get it to work on the Retroid Pocket 4 Pro, which is a bit outdated at this point, to be fair. And I couldn't quite get it working. I got it loaded. I got it imported a game just fine. The issue only came when I started compiling things for the game. It would get like most of the way and then crash. So I think that's more the fault of me trying to do it on an underpowered system than it is the actual emulator. It looks really cool. It's very nice to have PS3 emulation because for anyone who didn't know, the PS3 architecture was dropped into the middle of a field by aliens and Sony just happened to pick it up. It is not a computer by any means. The PS2 was like just a slightly more beefy PS1, which was just a standard game console at the time. The PS3 was someone's fever dream. They were on shrooms when they designed that thing. Then the PS4 is basically just a PC. And so is the PS5. So the PS3 has been notoriously difficult to emulate for this reason, because the architecture that you're emulating is terrible. And just, well, I shouldn't say terrible. It's different. It's very good when you know how to use it, but as far as I could tell,
in its own way.
Exactly. As far as I could tell, they only told Naughty Dog how to use it. No one else had a clue. Which tracks, to be fair.
Do you have to tell anybody else, though? Because, I mean, how many other games do you know within the last 20 years have had 3 different versions of the same game? Huh? How many? I would say The Last of Us Season 2 is out now. We're taking a little bit of a skew over into some TV stuff. Last of Us Season 2 is out now. I'm waiting for The Last of Us Season 1 remaster. I'm waiting for that. I bought The Last of Us Season 1 on DVD, so I need remaster on Blu-ray, and then we need The Last of Us Season 1 Part 1, so I can get that on HD Blu-ray. That way I have 3 levels of it, just like I have 3 levels of the game. I need the quality to just be that much more on each individual one, so that I can tell there's a difference.
I was going to say Ratchet and Clank because of the movie game, but it turns out that actually released 23 years ago, which is upsetting. Oh. But
upsetting for you?
Oh, yeah.
How do you think I feel?
Bro was there.
Stop it, my knee hurts.
Oh,
well, I don't
it's been a good
stand-up
one.
desk. It has. I mean, it's a great time right now for someone. That person being Nintendo. Do you know that at this very moment, Nintendo is making more money than they have in the past 6 years, and they haven't done shit? Everybody's pre-ordering consoles, which means they're not giving you anything, but you're giving them your money. Brilliant.
That is how that works.
Absolutely brilliant. So let's shout out to Nintendo, doing it the way everyone should. Give nothing and take everything. Which you can learn in Monopoly, by the way. And now with Darth Vader.
Well, they're putting Darth Jar Jar in Fortnite, which is all I needed. It has peaked.
Yeah, what more could you need, right? That's pretty much it. So
Star Wars itself has peaked here.
yes,
It doesn't get
say
better than Darth Jar Jar in Fortnite.
I will say on the matter of the pre-orders, we do have this little bit of information here that I'm kind of gonna go experience. I have, like I said, already pre-ordered at GameStop, but there is a trade-in thing, and I want to go see how this goes after I've already gotten the pre-order. So, stay tuned. Come back next week, and I'll either be happy and have an answer for you, or I'll be miserable, but I'll still have an answer for you. So, putting in the work.
But before you come back next week, do make sure you leave us a like and a subscribe. Is
Hey,
that
you
what you
should.
say? That's what you say.
Why
YouTube.
not? What
Ring
else
the
are you
bell.
doing?
Is that a thing? Is that still a thing? Do we still ring the bell? Are we bell ringers?
I think
we bell
there's
people?
something about a bell.
We still ring the bell.
Isn't ring what replaced the bell? I'm confused. Why would you mention ring in front of bell? Like, bell's gonna get offended. Like, come on now.
We'll see you
Too
next
soon.
week across the pond.